We're back with the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series in 2022, and it's our first mile and a half of the 2022 season, and boy, we couldn't have picked a better place to see 42 of our best truckers go at it for 54 laps around this very high-speed mile and a half oval here in the heart of the desert. Alongside me in the booth today is Duke Ansack for a lot of good racing in these trucks at Las Vegas. This track has a lot of grip, so expect a lot of pack racing and the lead swapping hands more times than you can count. But either way, this is going to be a very exciting race, and I cannot wait to see what these truckers do with it.
You're absolutely right. And typically in a race like this, where you're not going to see a pit stop today, I'd say that starting position is going to be a big key to the race. But I actually don't think so. I think it's going to be all about just like Pensacola was. It's going to be a lot of just getting momentum, having a good pusher, choosing the right line, and being up front when it counts. So, all these truckers in this race have a chance today, and I think that is going to set up for an aggressive, high action, and extremely entertaining race.
Now looking at the starting field for the Wynn 200 at Las Vegas, Riley Hooper, after a dreadful start to his 2022 season, hoping to right the ship here and get his first race finish of the season, he lines up on pole position today, with Austin Runkle lined up alongside him. Ryan Griffin, the Macon winner, starts third. Robert Weaver and Audrey Ansack round out the top five. We've got a lot of Superstar Series regulars in the field here today. We got Nick Ortiz starting 7th, Justin Hutchinson 9th. This is a track Hutchinson loves in particular. He won both Superstar races here a year ago. With that being said, yeah, there's at least 4 Superstar Series drivers in this race, and you can't not consider them as some of the favorites for this race.
You're right. Just the vast experience of those drivers, the speed in those trucks, it's going to give them a bit of an advantage today. But of course, this type of racing that we've been seeing this weekend in this truck series really is it's going to be conducive to just about anybody having a shot. So, really, you're going to have to play a little bit of defense in the early parts of this race. Don't get taken out. Be part of it at the end, and then we'll see who's fighting for it at the end of the race. But I think that the winner could come from anywhere in this field.
So, will we see a Superstar regular take the win here at Las Vegas, or will we see one of our Truck Series drivers take the checker's flag ahead of the others? We'll find out in 54 laps time. This is the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, our first mile and a half of the season. The green flag is mere moments away. You're not going to want to miss a second of the racing action to come. With the pace truck already off the track, it leaves us in the hands of Riley Hooper and Austin Runkle. The green flag is out here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and the Wynn 200 is underway in full force. We've got side-by-side for every single position as they barrel off into turn 1. I don't expect these guys to get spread out at all. This is going to be a huge pack from start to finish.
Yeah, not a lot of big advantages so far in this race. In fact, we see the pole sitter and the leader of this race move to the high side, allowing that 29 truck to get to the bottom there, pushed by the 8 truck following. So this, it's going to be an endless cycle of this bottom lane coming and passing people that go to the top, and then just repeat over and over again. We already see that 8 truck of Audrey Ansack out front being pushed by the 91 now.
So, Ryan Griffin led the first lap, and we know how good he is in this series. But now Audrey Ansack to the lead, like you said, with help from Nick Ortiz and Justin Hutchinson, 2 Superstar Series regulars, each making an appearance in the Truck Series this weekend. And now they are running second and third behind this 8 truck. And we're already completed with lap number 2. Audrey goes a little high, Ortiz goes with her, but that opens the door for Justin Hutchinson below to get underneath the 91. They are side by side for second off of 2.
Hey, I'll tell you what, those first 2 trucks that had the lead on the bottom, they moved up the track, and then they started falling back. But when the 8 truck took the lead, she is driven out there and kind of been able to control each lane, and hasn't gotten past yet. In fact, nobody's gotten close enough to pass yet. So we'll see if somebody's able to slip below and start making that pass. But so far, so good for this 8 truck. Looking really good out front.
Now Justin Hutchinson gets pushed up high. Now Brian Grigsby in 92 makes a move up into second place. And right behind him is Adrian's teammate Earl Cyr, the winner at Bristol last time out, when he dominated that race. Now he's going to try and make a move under Brian Grigsby for second, and I have no reason to believe he won't be able to succeed, and he does. We have a Team Duke 1-2 here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, it looks really good out front right now with the 8 and the 3 right there. And I'll tell you what, if that 3 truck is like anything like that 8 truck, we're going to see a little bit of a pull away here. But it looks like the 17 knows better. Put that 3 truck of Earl Cyr on the outside lane, and now is trying to maybe make a move for the lead, but didn't want to see those 2 Team Duke trucks out front for too long by themselves. And oh, there's a move right there. The 17 gets low. That's going to be pass for the lead, I think. I can't imagine the 8's getting any help up top. Definitely not. And this is going to be a pass for the lead coming through 3 and 4, I believe.
That is Zach Rogers in the 17. He's a veteran of this series who knows how to handle the pack. And as he comes off the turn 4 into the start-finish straight, he will lead lap number 6. But he too goes up the track, and this is going to allow Ben McDonald making his Truck Series debut, trying to take the lead from Rogers, but he has to back off the gas to avoid washing up. Now Rogers has a steady lead in front of the pack, ahead of Audrey and Ben McDonald in the 12, with Tanner Browning pushing him.
Yeah, so that 8 truck is still showing some strength, even though she's stuck on the top there. The top lane really gets bogged down coming out of turn 4. That's what I've been noticing. That's where they're losing all their time and momentum. Of course, there goes Ben McDonald up to the top, and he is going to get absolutely left to dry out there. The 32 dumped him off, moved to the bottom, and now the 17 has a solid lead and has been out front since the move was made.
So Zach Rogers leading a 3-wide battle for second now. We were wondering if we were going to see any 3-wide in this race, and sure enough, on lap number 8, there it is. Carson Jefferson to the inside with help from the Superstar winner at Monza, Cale Tester Jr., who takes the lead, who takes the second position rather. He's going to try and take it from Carson Jefferson. That 23's looks like he's got a lot of speed under it, but I don't know. That Zach Rogers has had a pretty healthy lead from the moment he took it.
Yeah, Browning was stuck in the sucker hole there for a minute, and now Audrey Anzac and Cale Tescar Jr. are sitting there in the center. And they're not really falling back all that much. I thought that as soon as you get in the middle, you'd be set all the way to the back. But holding on strong are these trucks. A couple of yellow and black trucks right there side by side. But, you know, the center lane right there is not too bad. Of course, it's not where you want to be. There's no airflow on your truck, and you're slip sliding all around. And it's a dangerous place to be, of course. But not the worst as far as track position goes.
Carson Jefferson in the 66 leads the first laps of his career in the 66 truck, but now Francois Chastain's going to get by to take the lead with help from his teammate, Nick Ortiz in the 91. Ortiz owns these 2 trucks, and they're now running 1-2 in this race. They're side by side for the lead going into turn 3 on 2 New England trucks of Chastain and Ortiz. One of them's going to lead this lap for sure. Coming off of turn 4, it looks like it's going to be Nick Ortiz with help from Justin Hutchinson and Levi Thorley in the 82, making his series debut as well.
Nick Ortiz did this earlier in the race where it pushed, I believe it was Audrey Anzac to the lead, and then moved up the track and went to the back and has already gotten back up front. I think that 91 truck is going to be one to watch out for today. However, this is Justin Hutchinson right now. He is snuck to the bottom, and he's about to possibly lead this lap because the outside is tough on turn 4. I think it's just that there's a little bit more curvature there that you need to travel. You need to be turning the wheel a little bit more if you're on the outside lane, because that wall kind of sneaks up on you there and comes out into the track, and you have to turn a little bit more, and you're scrubbing off momentum the more you turn. So that's a little bit tough. We'll see it here coming out of turn 4 in the outside lane. Nick Ortiz and teammate behind him. So we'll see it. Yeah, see right there, you just slide up and you have to turn a little bit more, and then you lose a little bit momentum. That's where the inside lane is really benefiting right now. Justin Hutchinson goes to the top, leaving it open for the 82, and they're going to go 3 wide.
Allison Rain wisely backs out of that and gives the lead to series debut talent Levi Thorley in the 82. Justin Rodriguez drove this truck for the first 3 races. He is dipped out of the series, and now Thorley takes over where Rodriguez left off, and now is the 82 going to lead a lap in its series debut? Yes, he will. put the 82 in the lead for the time being, but I think Allison Rain's going to take the lead right here and now, and yes, she will. To move the 34 into the lead for the first time in this afternoon.
Allison Rain has been a great surprise this season. Another race where this 34 truck is having a solid day. And that, you know, this is interesting because the 34 has gotten out there a little bit farther than most others have, and it's allowed the 82 to kind of sneak in behind, and it's created a 4-car separation. And look, there's Earl Cyr on the bottom, who was up front earlier, coming back, and yeah, it's amazing because what happens is you get a little bit of a separation on the bottom lane, and you think, these guys are going to want to maybe just ride for a couple laps here because, you know, you get tired mentally. This is mentally fatiguing racing, but they just go straight back to the top and keep on fighting. It's relentless, this truck series is. And right now, the 34 has tamed this pack, leading the way ahead of the 82.
Yep, she's kept a steady lead over Levi Forley. Logan Jones has moved up into the 3rd spot in the D4 Motorsports number 94. Earl Cyr, as you rightly said, is up and back into the top 5 again. And Clay Costello makes way for Christian Russell, who now rounds out the top 5 in the 02. He started pretty deep in the field as well. A lot of these guys have. As a matter of fact, the two out front, Levi Forley and Logan Jones, they both started outside the top 35, and within 18 laps they're running 1-2 in this race. Here comes Jones to the inside, trying to take the lead away.
Yeah, you know what? This is a good battle between these two guys. That 82 truck is strong right now on the outside, but just not going to be enough on in that lane, especially without any help. And it's going to allow these folks on the bottom to kind of sneak by there. And Earl Cyr is going to end up on the top lane here. And the 02 is up the track, pushing him all the way up there. That was a dangerous moment, but that 02 looking good now on the bottom, going for 2nd place.
And it's not like this is a surprise, because Christian Russell has been a contender in every race he's competed in this season. He ran strong at Pensacola before an engine failure knocked him out. He finished in the top 5 at Macon, was running 2nd when he got into a crash at Bristol, and now he's running 2nd again. As we look now at a couple guys making their series debuts, Brantley Gage in the Robin Hood Racing 08, and one of your Nitro National drivers, Elijah Ironhouse, in your 83 truck, making gains up into the top 5. But here comes Christian Russell for the lead on the Logan Jones, and this 02, once he gets to the front, I imagine it's gonna be a tough task getting him out of that lead.
Oh man, well, I don't know, because here comes Earl Cyr on the bottom with a big push from the 08 and his teammate in 3rd place. So that was a really great move, aggressive from Earl Cyr, but to get to the bottom of Christian Russell like that doesn't happen often. You didn't think it was going to happen, and there it is.
Yeah, take what I say with a grain of salt, but I say he's going to be difficult to pass. It's a lot easier to pass here than in other places because of the packed nature of this race. But now we've got Brantley Gage to the inside with help from Cale Chescar Jr. Now put the 08 in the lead of this race for the first time in this one. As now we look back, and I'm a little surprised that this 24 it took this long for him to show up. Dave Lozow is a very good super speedway racer, and now he's making a move under the 71 to try and make up even more ground. It took a long time for him to get here, but now that he's here, I'm sure he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. As Cale Chescar Jr. goes back to the lead, and everybody, and I mean everybody in this field, is within a couple seconds of the leaders. They're all in the same pack. This is exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, and that makes it just a really difficult for everybody to really have a shot in this race. There's only 2 predominant lines here, so you know you're not really getting. We saw earlier a little bit of organization in the middle, but it was only due to the fact that somebody accidentally ended up there, and it didn't really pan out. So what's happening is you get stuck on that outside lane, and you just have nowhere to go. You can't make any moves out there because there's not a 3rd lane. And man, it is tough. Like I was saying earlier, just ruthless. These truck drivers are, and when you get stuck on the outside, you have to go all the way to the back sometimes before you can get back to the bottom and make moves.
3 laps now to halfway in this race. All 42 trucks still running in this race. All of them in the lead pack, and Carson Jefferson just made a bold move to try and get around Cale Chescar Jr. Nothing doing there, but He's got some good drafting help behind him. Justin Hutchinson in the 71. He really loves this racetrack. It's where he got both of his wins in the Superstar Series a year ago, and he's feeling quite at home here in the truck as well. He's running third as Jefferson tries to make another move on Cale Tesco Jr., but again, he's got to back out of it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, that 71, of course, a couple wins here, but you know, it's not the same type of race. This is extremely unique. Haven't seen this yet at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but boy, is it entertaining. It's a lot of fun to watch. And Cale Tesco Jr. has had a really good run out front here. He's kind of brought everybody behind him, doing a good job. As I say that, the 66 is going to sneak low with a lot of help from behind. But he was able to kind of bring people single file behind him, and that has allowed a bit of a separation. And of course now they're all grouping back together. So the 66 is on the bottom, and they're all going to fall back and bring this pack double wide all the way up to the front yet again.
So Jefferson retakes the lead. He held it earlier in this race with Fisher Miller pushing him, but Miller now makes a move to the inside to try and take the lead away, with help from Tanner Browning in the 32, and behind him, Roger James in the 0, making his series debut. He failed to qualify for the first 3 races of the season, but he made the field here, and he's putting it to good use. He's running 5th in that U.S. Army Toyota. So Roger James making a move towards the front, pushing fellow Toyota Tanner Browning, trying to get him past Fisher Miller. And we're halfway through this race, just about, and we've still got all 42 trucks with a shot at the win.
Yeah, and no yellow so far in this race. I'm really impressed with these drivers. They've been doing a great job today. It's hard, side-by-side racing, of course, and they're 3 wide right now behind for 2nd place. But no crashes so far. Not a lot of contact either. So this race is gone really smooth. And now we've got one stuck in the sucker hole and cut across. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely wild. Of course, they probably all just heard that they passed halfway in. It's time to turn up the action here. We're 3 wide, 2 rows deep.
That's Ryan Soper in the middle group, Tanner Browning on the outside, and Allison Rain taking the lead in the 34 with help from pole sitter Riley Hooper in the 00 and Ben McDonald in the 12. Allison Rain leads that lap, so good effort from the 34 to get up there. But now here comes Riley Hooper in this 00. He didn't lead the first lap, so he's hoping to get a bonus point because he needs as many points as he can in this race, because he has failed to finish all of the races that have been run so far this season, and a lot of it was not of his own doing. A mechanical failure and a couple crashes have derailed his season. He's last of the drivers that have made every race. He really needs to rack up as many points as he can, but now he's pushed up on the outside by Ben McDonald and Dalton Sate in the 15.
Yeah, you know, and I'll tell you what, that 00 qualified on the pole today, didn't get to lead the lap, but now is stuck on that outside lane again. That's a tough break situation, but Allison Rain is looking fantastic out front yet again. That truck, the 34 truck, has gotten out front and made it happen out there. And here we're looking at that 0 truck who got stuck in the sucker hole a little bit earlier. Now finally going to have a hole to sneak into the bottom. That was a really good break for that truck right there, and everybody in this inside lane. It's kind of separated a little bit, coming back together though.
And now Ben McDonald making a move on Allison Rain for the race lead with help from Dalton Sate in the 15. This is his 2nd start of the season. He's missed the field at Macon and Bristol, but he's making up for it now, running in 2nd position. But he too gets moved up the racetrack by Elijah Ironhouse in the 83, doing a solid job deputizing in that 83 Chevy. But no one's got anything for Ben McDonald right now. He's got quite a big lead, but you don't want to get too far out front, because that just allows the pack to close right back up on him.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and that 83 truck, if it's anything like the other 2 Team Duke trucks we've seen go up front today in this race, it's been pretty good. All 3 of those trucks are able to kind of separate a little bit and stay out front and kind of control the traffic. Of course, Elijah Ironhouse, a veteran of the Nitro National Series, so chasing a Superstar Series driver here in the Truck Series. It's Series-ception we've got up front in this one, and they're both followed by that 29. So this is interesting. It's started to spread out a little bit up front in the latter half of this race so far. I'm not totally sure what that is. Maybe it's tire wear. Maybe it's drivers starting to figure this track out a little bit in this racing style. But these three have pushed to quite the gap over fourth place.
They're about to lose it, though, because Ryan Griffin got to the inside of Elijah Ironhouse. They're going to be side by side, and that is going to allow the rest of the pack to close on them in a big hurry. But it just goes to show how bad Ryan Griffin wants to get back into the lead of this race. He laid 82 laps at Macon and en route to winning that race, but he hasn't really come close to winning any of the others, but he's certainly close to winning here. With under 20 laps to go, he's making a move now on Ben McDonald for the race lead.
Oh, and that's going to hurt Ben McDonald big time because there is nobody else on that outside lane. Get a couple that sneak up there coming out of there, but you can see in that wide shot, nobody for a very long time in that outside lane. So unless people sneak up there and try to kind of keep it all together, looks like, oh, and Elijah Ironhouse is going to be stuck up there as well unless he gets a good draft down the backstretch. But yeah, the outside lane right now, as far as the front pack goes, that's not the place you want to be.
But this is exactly where Ryan Griffin wants to be. He is the leader of this race. With about 15 laps to go here at Las Vegas, this race is blown by in a hurry, but it's not fallen short as far as action is concerned. We've had that for the entirety of this race so far. All 38 laps have featured some sort of battle for position, and that is exactly what we want to see in this series, as now Forley and Sate go side by side for second in favor of the 82.
Yeah, well, Griffin is way out there. You know, this is a tough position for that 29 truck. As soon as this pack catches, you're gonna have to choose a lane and choose fast and hope it's the right one. It looks like Allison Rain is gonna get clear of the 82, maybe with a shot to make a move for the lead as they get to that 29 truck. And of course, Christian Russell is back in the mix here. And the 6 truck as well. You know, we've seen a lot of good stuff out of the 6 truck this season. Looking really good again here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, trying to make a move on the inside. Unwise there, good to back out. And they have nearly caught up to the leader of Ryan Griffin.
That's Robert Weaver in the 6, who has to back out of that move. So he falls back a long ways. So now it is a battle between Griffin and Russell for the race lead. These two have come a cropper before. These two are got to be considered among the favorites for the season, honestly. Griffin's won at Macon. Russell's come close on so many occasions. They're doing a masterful job in this race. They're closing in on 10 to go, and if this is any indication, these two will have a say in who wins this race.
Yeah, for sure. And here comes Robert Weaver with a huge run. Peaked low. It's not going to be enough of momentum going down the backstretch for any moves right there. But yeah, this trio up front, it's so fascinating to me what's happened. The early part of this race, nobody could really break free like this, and we were watching it as guys were kind of getting to the lead and sliding up the track and getting past, and then it was just this cycle. And now I guess that there's been a little bit of tire wear that's set in or something has caused a bit of a breakaway able to happen, and then you get these lines of trucks. I mean, this 4-truck group right here, they all worked together to catch up to the top 3, and now there's one long train of all these drivers. And that's Robert Weaver in second place, who is not content to sit there, and neither is the 02. They're going to almost push it 3 wide.
And there goes Christian Russell to the lead of this race. I was going to also give a special shout-out to the Sinclair Racing development drivers, Tanner Browning and Dalton Sate. They were running nose to tail for a while. Now Sate falls back, but Browning is making a move for the lead on Christian Russell. So how about that 32 truck making a move? Going to stick. Browning takes the lead with 10 laps to go.
Tell you what, Browning has been really good today, staying up front for a lot of this race. That 32 truck has. He was the first one to get stuck in the sucker hole in the middle of both of those lanes of traffic, and he was able to kind of stay with it and stay up there, get back to the bottom, and kind of hang around up front. Now he's in a good position with only a handful of laps left in this thing.
We've got some new players, though, in the mix. That's 74 of Miles Mashburn. He's a Superstar Series regular to keep an eye on. And behind him, the points leader going into this race, Zachary Bilson. Oh no! Ben McDonald squeezed Miles Mashburn almost onto the apron of the racetrack. We haven't seen that yet. but somehow they managed to keep it clean. So Mashburn moves up into third. McDonald now stuck in the middle. I was going to say, and also a new player in this race, Zachary Bilson, the points leader in that 81. He makes the move up into fourth.
That was an incredible save by both those drivers. I can't even believe it. And the 74 is still trucking here, still keeping on route to the front of this pack.
He's right behind a truck he owns, 6 of Robert Weaver, and now we've got 3 wide. Once again, McDonald cannot get out of that middle, and now we've got some more new challengers. Dylan Hall in the 31. We haven't mentioned him all race long. That Crossroads Racing truck making gains up into the top 10. He's now making a move on McDonald for 5th. Dylan Hall with his best run of the year so far, making a move into the top 5 as Robert Weaver goes for the lead.
Yeah, this has been an incredible last couple of laps here. Things we haven't seen all race. A lot of aggression out of these drivers, and well needed. You know, if you're going to go to the front, now is the time, and everybody knows that this thing is coming to a close, and we have not seen a caution flag yet. And if we do, it very well could end, depending on how big this yellow flag is. So it's you want to be up front, and you want to be up front now. This is the time to strike.
Miles Mashburn goes for the lead on Robert Weaver with help from Dylan Hall and Ryan Silver behind him. These 3 are making moves on Robert Weaver. To take the lead goes Miles Mashburn. Is Dylan Hall going to try and make a move on him? Coming to 5 laps to go in this race. Could both Crossroads Racing trucks get to victory lane this season? Dylan Hall certainly
be
getting
careful.
To go. But now Ryan Silver makes a move to the inside. The 84 goes for the top spot.
Yeah, and guess who's back? It's Earl Cyr in that 3 truck. You know, this is a dangerous grouping of drivers right here. We got Ryan Soper leading this bottom lane. He just went 3 wide for the lead. Earl Cyr is hungry. He wants to get some more wins. And there he is in second on the bottom there. Man, oh man, this is going to be interesting to see what happens at the end. There goes Earl Cyr to the bottom. Is he going to have enough room? Oh, just barely squeezes in to the bottom of the track. This is going to be great coming to the end of the race. Watching these drivers battle it out. This is incredible right now.
Coming to 3 laps to go. Can Ryan Soper hold on to get his first one-up win of any kind? He's going to have a lot of work to do, though, because, like you said, Earl Cyr has been a very strong truck this season, and he's right on the tailgate of that 84. Now 3 laps to go in this race. Can Earl Cyr get to the lead of this race? He's got help from Clay Costello in the 46. We haven't mentioned him much today. Now the 46 is going to try and help the 3 past Ryan Soper here. We're coming to 2 laps to go, and it's still anybody's guess who's going to win this race. But one thing we know for sure, a caution flag now would end the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And Earl Cyr got the lead finally, but he's going to slip up the track, and now he's going to lose it to that 46 truck who's on the bottom. Oh, man, we've only got a couple laps left in this thing, and everybody's getting hungry. That's Audrey Anzac trying to go 3 wide, putting her teammate on the top of 3 wide there, just almost. But the bottom lane has no help anymore. This track has been turned upside down. I can't believe how this has gone down, and this is absolutely fantastic. We got the 46 out front for the first time today, leading coming to the white flag.
1 lap to go for Clay Costello, trying to get his first career win in only his 3rd career start. But Ryan Griffin is very hungry to get win number 2, as is Earl Cyr. They're going to try everything they can as Griffin makes a move to the inside of Clay Costello. He's got to make it work, and he's got to have help from Earl Cyr. But Cyr sticks with Clay Costello, coming for 3 and 4 for the final time. It's going to be a drag race between Ryan Griffin and Clay Costello. Costello washes up. Ryan Griffin takes the checkered flag to win the Wynn 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Daring last pass. And with that, Ryan Griffin scores his 2nd career win and becomes the first driver to reach 2 wins in the Turbo Truck Series. Earl Cyr, after a dominating performance at Bristol, he comes back to finish 2nd in this race. Clay Costello fell to 3rd on the final lap. Ryan Soper gets a 4th place finish, well deserved for that group. And Audrey Anzac rounds out the top 5 ahead of both the Crossroads Racing trucks. James Ellison made a move up through the field to finish 6th ahead of teammate Dylan Hall. Blaine Saylor in his series debut, we hadn't mentioned him all day. That 0-1 in his first ever start makes it to the top 10 and 8th ahead of Miles Mashburn 9th, and Cale Tescar Jr. rounds out the top 10. And we had a wild race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 20 different drivers led this race, and Every single truck in this race finished within 3 seconds of the lead. That is what you call a competitive race.
Oh yeah, there weren't any cautions either. You know, usually when you get that type of thing, you get a couple yellows in there, brings everybody back together. But within 3 seconds, no yellows in the race at all. That was absolutely incredible, and a huge round of applause for these drivers because they have put on a show today, and they did not crash a single time. I can't believe it. They were aggressive. They were making crazy moves. They were beating and banging at points, but they never wrecked, and that is really great for the sport in a whole. Keeping these trucks in one piece and wow, putting on a great race as well. That was absolutely awesome to watch.
So, we say goodbye to the high-speed speedways for a while because next time for the Turbo Truck Series, we head to our first road course of the season at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. That's going to be a lot of fun for all the truckers trying to take on their first left and right-hand course of the season. Curious to see which drivers will have the edge on that style of racing. But if I were to guess, I'd say Ryan Griffin and Earl Cyr have a good shot there too, even if the 29 doesn't really like those right-hand turns all that much. So, from Duke Gainsack and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Las Vegas Motor Speedway and a hotly contested Wynn 200 that was settled on the final corner in favor of Ryan Griffin. He gets his second career win, and with it, he gets ever closer to the points lead. We'll see you again at Mid-Ohio in just a short while.